The following program was made by a volunteer producer. The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of MCM Productions.
Cagney and Lacey, they canceled it 3 times. I mean, it's a wonder they didn't try and kill her with a stick. What is their problem?
Because we gotta seem in charge. We gotta seem like we can handle everything ourselves, like a normal family, or else they have an excuse to split us up.
Well, again, not if we're working together. Now, what makes you think that I would want to work with you?
I want to be your friend.
Christy Huddleston, who are you?
I wish I knew.
Chief Black Kettle just gave you your Cheyenne name. Medicine woman.
Sitting in your easy chair with the remote control in your hand. You can doze on off or you can get up and make a stand. And here's your opportunity to have a say in what you see. Viewer's voice, the viewer's choice. Viewer's voice. For all the times you wish that you could do something about the things that's showing you.
Always keep your dreams. Always keep your dreams. Keep your dreams. Always keep your
All right, now we're back here with another WAMI Hall of Famer, Sigmund Snopek. And I got to tell you, your performance at that WAMI's was fantastic. You're the one of the acts that I just kind of was, stuck to and really enjoyed. It was
Thank you
amazing.
very much. We had a good time putting that show together, and my good friend Harper Rose sang with us, and Dave Kuzma was stunning on the sousaphone. That's always not many rock bands carry a sousaphone.
That's so true. Really stood out.
John Philip Sousa invented the sousaphone because the tuba wasn't loud enough. True story. That's your music history lesson for today.
Okay.
Write that down. There'll be a pop quiz in a couple of minutes.
Now you're a Milwaukee boy.
Yes, I am. I was born at St. Joseph's Hospital, October 25th, 1950, at bar time, 1:55 a.m. The first thing I heard was, "Last call." And then it was, "Wah." Yes, I'm a Milwaukeean.
Yes, one of the two fellas that we just had on mentioned that, what was it, his singing teacher or something that he had?
James Mahan.
Is Glenn's cousin.
Yes.
Glenn from
Yeah, my choral director in high school was Glenn's cousin.
Yes. So I kind of figured you had to be from Milwaukee, but I better just
it's
check.
It's a small world. Well,
to have all of you right, within close range of each other.
Born in Milwaukee, grew up in Waukesha.
In Waukesha?
Take us back to your personal music history. How did you begin to get involved in music? What are your earliest memories?
My first memory of music was hearing my mom play Rhapsody in Blue on the piano at my
really?
house. And she was quite quite a capable piano player in those days. She's still out there kicking. She's 85 years old.
Wow.
And then I started taking piano lessons when I was 7 from Frida Hart. I don't think she's with us anymore. If she is, she's hopefully in a nice home or something. So, of course, then the Beatles hit in 1964. I can remember ending my paper out and plugging the jukebox. It was a Nicola song to hear I Want to Hold Your Hand, and at the Dog and Suds and on the
Nicola song.
east side of Waukesha. And then we had the rock bands. And I was still, when I took piano lessons, I was really got into the classical thing.
So that's where your classical training was early on then.
And then when I took music theory and music history from James Mahan at South Campus, and then I went up to UW Waukesha. That's when I was there. I started the Bloomsbury people with a guy by the name of Greg Janik, who now teaches music somewhere, I think, in the Dakotas. And we had a great time with that band and managed to get signed by MGM Records because somebody's talent scout spotted us at the Midwest Rock Festival at the State Fairgrounds back in 1970.
Okay.
And our first album came out on MGM Records. And while I was at UW Waukesha there, I was studying with Don Stimpert, who also was a guy who taught music history and he was the conductor of the chorus. And a tremendous guy. He's still alive and kicking out in Waukesha with his wonderful wife. And then when I got to UWM, that's when I got to the big guns and I wrote my first symphony. And John Downey helped me to orchestrate it. And that took a couple of years. That premiered with the Milwaukee Symphony in 1971, October 29th. I'll never forget that night. It was lovely.
I bet you wouldn't forget.
I have 8.
Oh, that's neat, yeah. His name is Brian. Brian, yeah. So,
I have a question. Dr. Downey, was there anything about Sigmund that led you to believe he would never finish college?
yes, many, many, many things. In fact, the evidence was so overwhelming that I almost collapsed when he finally did come through. No, but seriously, he did make it, and we thought he wouldn't. But I'm going on sabbatical next year, and I felt that if he doesn't get it now, it's not going to happen because those credits that he had already accumulated would be rescinded and annulled, and so he had to come through. And he even had to make a call to London to track down one of his teachers from years before, and he did it. So I'm real thrilled about it. I think he deserves it. I'm really proud to have him as one of my graduates. So I had a self-interest in it too. See.
Okay, Dr. Downey, in very general terms, or as specific as you want to get, I'm asking Sigmund.
No, you're asking John.
What influence he has had on you?
Well, both ways. Yeah, I think he's had an influence on me and making me more aware of what rock musicians were doing, particularly what he was doing. I went to hear his group off and listen to the records. And on the other hand, he wanted to write music for the Milwaukee Symphony at a commission. And the idea was to get him to handle the symphony orchestra in a professional way, which I think he has more than amply proven that he could do on 2 occasions. Was his first piece, what was that called, Blue Pillow or Orange Blue? Orange Blue. Yeah. And the second work, the Talking Symphony, I thought was a tremendous success, particularly in the way he handled the symphony orchestra. And then the jazz or the rock group was, something I'm not really a connoisseur of, but, I know he does it very, very well. But I was interested more in the serious writing, and he's certainly shown a great development through his years at UWM, and he's a respected composer in the community, and a lot of good people around here. So.
October 29th. I'll never forget that night. It was lovely.
I bet you wouldn't
I
forget.
have 8 symphonies now. That are
8. And they've been performed by who?
Some of them haven't been performed. The second one was another one the Milwaukee Symphony had me do. That was called the Talking Symphony. The third one was commissioned by the city of Waukesha to commemorate their sesquicentennial. That was called The 5 Points. That was the name of that one. That was done at their festival on the last day. I think Warren Regrets was in that. I think he played in that. The third one, let's see, the third one was the Waukesha one. It's called the 5 Points, after the 5 Points in downtown Waukesha. And then, where am I? Number 4 was called the Baby Symphony, and it's just 4 minutes long. That's been performed by a couple of symphonies now, but it was originally commissioned by a recording studio to demonstrate their computer sample programs to clients.
Wow.
And then later in life, it's been getting some performance. The Milwaukee Festival Orchestra played it a couple of years ago. The Baby Symphony. It's done in the minimalist style. And then the 5th one was commissioned by Summerfest to celebrate their 25th anniversary. That's an expanding symphony that had 10 movements, and I was recording sounds and interviewing people of this at the festival, and then that went into the symphony, into the composition. So the composition was alive. As long as Summerfest was there, I would add more stuff to it that people were adding to the, and that piece was called Festival Worlds. And then the 6th Symphony is kind of dormant, it's sitting on my drawing table. That's dedicated to one of my close friends who passed away. The 7th Symphony was commissioned by the Steel Bridge Songwriters Festival, and that's also a multi-movement work. And then the 8th one I sketched down in the Gulf of Mexico while we were playing German music in the daytime.
Oh, I thought you were going to say tropical.
No,
German in the Gulf.
Those German beer halls are everywhere now, but Hans Weisgerber owns one, partially owns part of one down in Panama City Beach, so we go down there from time to time. And at night we play German music, and in the morning I compose classical music or work on our songwriting. And
that's interesting.
It's fun.
Yes.
They put us up in a tri-level condo, but the first level is your bedroom, the second level is a kitchen, and then the third level goes right out on the beach.
Oh, wow. Oh, nice.
It's a nice place to work.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd say, huh?
So let's get back.
A pastel moonlit night, the boatman carries one passenger, the keeper of the Elkhorn, signaling all is right for this moment, all is at peace, as Pine Lake slowly churns its life-giving water around our boat.
Say, huh?
So let's get back to the Whammies. That was exciting to be, and I'm honored to be entered into your Hall of Fame, along with all the other wonderful musicians that are in there.
It was definitely time to do that, and so glad that we were able to do that this past year.
Yeah, you really had the place going there. I'll tell you, when you got up there, that was really nice.
Then we had some audience participation too, didn't we?
Yeah.
I had them singing along. Yeah.
Yeah.
And since they were all musicians, it was in tune.
Very enjoyable.
Memorable, definitely.
And we were doing interviews, and then all of a sudden I caught you. You were up on the stage, and I said I was just kind of frozen watching you. You know, it was really fascinating to watch. I really enjoyed it.
So it was a fun show.
Yeah, and it's a real honor having you here today. And you brought a suitcase.
I brought a bunch of different CDs.
Yeah.
I just finished producing this one, co-producing it with Harper Rose. There's 5 tunes on this one. This is the EP version, the full length.
Is there a full length?
Yeah,
and I was going to say, is it available commercially yet? Or?
I think we're giving these away at gigs.
I see.
And when the album comes out, it will be available commercially.
She's a local musician?
Yeah, she's from Milwaukee.
Okay. And
she was recommended to me by another friend of mine. And we had a meeting, and it clicked real well. And I really enjoyed writing 13 songs with her.
So you wrote?
The count's 2024, and times my soul has hit the floor. What denies what is the truth? I can't feel safe when I'm with you. Purified, terrified, 'cause I can't pretend anymore. My walls came down to the ground, your sorrows like blood to the core. Please don't knock out the door. Try swallow your pride. Tell me who I'm in love with. So many secrets between us. I fear that they will destroy us. And only when you carry me, somehow this will be unclean. Now horrified, terrified, 'cause I can't pretend anymore. My walls came down to the ground, your sorrows my flaws to the core. Please don't walk out that door. Just swallow your pride. Tell me who I'm in love with. You're Jack of the Heart. You're Jack of the Heart. Jack of the Heart. Jack of the Heart. Jack of the I see the lost fantasia deep within your soul. The child that you left long ago, your character abandoned. Deep within your soul, will you ever know?
So you wrote with her and then
I
you
wrote with her, yeah.
produced.
I wrote
Has
and
she been
produced.
on TV or on any of the talk shows or anything?
No,
she
not
looks
yet.
so familiar. And I don't know why.
Well, she performed in
She
the band
she was
at
at
the
the
Whammies.
she was at the Whammies. She was the gal who sang at the Whammies.
Okay, that's
With-
probably why she looks so
with-
familiar.
With my set.
Okay.
She would come in with lyrics and melody, but didn't have a lot of sense for chords. So
All right. I
since
knew I
my degrees in music
heard.
theory and composition, and that's what makes it a speciality. And I enjoyed her lyrics. It's like looking at the world through the eyes of a 22-year-old girl. Again, no.
Again.
Not again. No.
So is production something you've done more of?
I've always been involved in production.
Oh, okay.
I had, because I was a full-time musician. I worked at Studio East Recording.
Okay.
As a full-time session musician, we come in every day. And I worked at Bananas for 8 years.
Okay.
It's another,
Bananas.
Bill Eisner and the gang. And at that place, I was writing jingles and scoring films. So
You've done
that's
a
a
little
separate.
bit of everything.
That's a separate career. Where there's the commercial career, and then there's the playing in the clubs and playing with rock bands, like touring the world with the Violent Femmes. That's a whole nother.
That's a whole.
You could make a whole nother show
yeah,
on that.
But that
I've got all kinds
of
unreleased photos we could use. Candid photos.
Yeah, how did that come about, that you toured with them?
That's interesting. I actually met Victor and Brian within 2 days of each other, 5 years before they knew each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. And you then maintained the contact with them?
Yeah, Victor came to see me when I was doing a 72-hour performance art piece that had me playing along with the sounds of the state of Wisconsin. And I would stop at radio stations. I played flute on horseback. I played harpsichord going up the river. You can see that.
The sound here? That's good. Too much vibration, are you? Are you getting sound stuff? Watch out there. I think it's down below you.
That's you can see that harpsichord thing on my website.
Oh, okay.
But anyhow, I met him. He came out to the radio station in Racine. I was this young kid, and he came out to see me because I was playing live on the radio station.
Oh.
2 days later, I met Brian Ritchie at another function that was related to this whole thing. It was called Art Fest, and it was held downtown. Remember Mecca?
Yes.
And while Brian Ritchie showed up, he was 14 years old, and we were doing guerrilla dance. In other words, inviting the audience to ballet dance the music, the opera that I'd written, which was a science fiction opera called Trinity Seas. And there he was, Brian Ritchie, at the age of 12.
Wow.
And then years later, I met them again, and we realized we had met, that we had our paths had crossed. I kind of got goosebumps at that point. I have them right now, even just remembering that.
Sure.
You can see, as long as I'm running off here, we just added something to my website, Sigmund Snopek, no, at the Facebook, on the Sigmund Snopek band page, and it's Brian Ritchie and Guy Hoffman and me at the ball game at the County Stadium, and it's being called by Ernie Harwell of the Detroit Tigers announcers, who he's since passed, and he goes, and a fan makes a spectacular catch. Look, and he's talking about me. I just caught this line drive catch off the bat of David Holtz. You can see it tonight. Just go to Sigmund Snopek's band page.
Okay.
Holtz takes a little piece of it and fouls it away. And what a snap by a fan right next to the Tiger dugout. The old lefty did it, Ernie. What about that? Look at that hat. Didn't even lose his hat. Looks like that hat's through the war.
And Brian Ritchie and Guy Hoffman, one of the drummers from the Femmes, and myself sitting in the old stadium.
Wow, a lot of people are going to
where the
take
seats
a
were
look
big
at that,
enough.
I'm sure.
That new stadium, I hit it. You sit like this. You pay $50 a seat, and then you have to sit like this.
I was just kind of fascinated with this. What is this all about?
This is the baseball CD, and that the piece I was talking about me catching the baseball.
Yeah.
It's actually on here. It's a tune called I wrote a song for it then to
okay.
go with the visual, and it's called The Old Stadium. Now you have 2 CDs here. These are all my baseball songs. I have it set up so it's 9 innings of songs with commercials in between. So there's tons of.
That's really interesting.
Talk about creative packaging, and it comes with a personalized baseball card.
Yeah, there's
the bubble gum.
That's your gift. You can have it. I think she has it already.
I do.
And this is a resealable package. That gum is probably dried out, but you can bring it back to life.
And
this
personalized cards.
These are the musicians who play on the CD.
Oh, isn't that creative?
That is something else. Wow.
That's Keedy and Royce Hall.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if I can get these open here on
That was really.
Real fast away. You now have a Gordon Gano baseball card, a Warren Regratz baseball card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saved them all.
A Zeno baseball card. He has a tune on here.
Here's Milwaukee music history right here on baseball cards.
Keedy has one of her songs on here, so there's guest artists too. Here we go.
That's just
I don't know if you can get that. Can you see that? No.
Very creative.
It's kind of tiny.
Maybe we can scan them in later.
And if you want to scan them, here's my cat, Angel, wearing a Brewers hat. This is Eric Segnitz from Present Music in the Milwaukee Symphony.
Yeah.
He plays on here on my song, on some of my minimalist stuff. Eric Hervey and Del Bennett, one of the best rhythm sections that come out of Milwaukee. I used an amateur to sing the national anthem like they do. That's my brother Jay, who also was a karaoke star up on the Mississippi and a Bruce Beer now. This is myself along, who is this? That's my buddy Elred from the pub in Oconomowoc. This is when we go Irish. Andrea Tarek, another woman I sang with for years.
Wow.
Here's a great one. This is Greg Koch. And he's using the baseball bat. Terry Vitone has a song on here. So there's tons of
That's really interesting.
Talk about creative packaging.
Warren Regratz.
Jeez.
Michael Woods, who performed with me for 10 years. Richard Penny, another his song is on here. And if you buy the CD, you get your own Gordon Gano baseball card.
A collectible.
Yeah,
this is
for
showing
sure.
it. Byron Weeman, on and on. There's my mom. My mom reads Casey at Bat.
Of course, yeah. Oh,
that's great. You got your mom in there. I love it.
Michael Lucas. I gotta make sure. What does that say? John Coker. Yeah. Annie Dennison.
Annie's
great. She sings lovely on here.
Yeah.
and we get the Paul Knievers, Saz, who was a great patron of this CD, and a dear friend of mine. Grant Kozera, tremendous guitar, yeah. One of the best accordion players. Yeah, we have to get him an award. He actually toured with Frankie Yankovic when he was 9 years old.
Steve Cohen.
He's a tremendous, and here's somebody over, Steve Cohen, Zeno, and the very last guy on here, is that Gary Johnson? Is that?
Yes.
Gary Johnson from the restaurant on Wells Street.
How come you didn't put yourself on there?
I am on there with Elred.
Oh, in the beginning?
It was a budget consideration, yeah. I could have just made them all me.
Yeah, there you go. That would have been.
That's the other set of cards.
The other set of cards.
Yeah.
There's one here, but that's a fun package. I'm on here with Elred, the Irish guy. There I am right there.
Oh, there you are.
It was just to save a little money at the end. Although it turned out one.
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm going to really trigger this.
And if there's something you don't like, you can just dial through it because it's almost 2 hours worth of music.
Well, it's all right. When I'm sitting there doing stuff, I'll just put it on.
It's fun.
So, yeah. Sometimes I'll sit and work on my photo albums and I can sit and listen to the music.
It's called Sigmund Snopek's Baseball, and there's a new one coming out called Extra Innings.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about new projects, what you're working on currently.
Extra Innings, and a CD called Remnants of Poets, and then another CD called Pugsley, King of the Barnyard. Pugsley's his big cat. He's a big cat.
Okay. Love the title.
Which is also the name of a painting actually a painted photo.
It's also the name of someone from the Addams Family.
Yes, the Addams Family too, yes. Actually has nothing to do with that one. Then I also have, I don't have any more Christmas CDs coming out.
But you do have a Christmas CD.
I have 3
Is that available?
actually.
3? Okay.
This one's available. This one's called Christmas, and then there's one called Ornaments, and the third one's called The Easter Bunny's Christmas.
Oh, wow.
And that's
always creative.
I
love
it. That's the coolest one.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about this. I'm very impressed with this. You want to tell us about this?
I got a letter in the mail one day, and a guy had ordered all my CDs, and there was a manuscript that came along with it. And the letter said, "You better sit down because this is going to throw you for a loop." And I sat down, and my gosh, it was my entire life, recorded life, in the 7th chapter. And he included me in the book with Joni Mitchell and James Brown.
Oh wow!
Sun Ra. Neil Young.
Wow.
And he found there's a way that he tied Yoko Ono tied all of us together.
Oh wow, that's
really interesting. And a very talented and creative guy, originally from Milwaukee. Bob Melke is his name.
Okay.
That's his picture there.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
I don't know if this does any good. It's a tremendous honor to be in that book.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd say.
I'm in 15 books, but this one is the one that really.
That's
Not counting my yearbooks. I'm not counting the yearbooks. Everybody's in those.
But the company in that book is.
That's
it's
fantastic.
lovely. You guys can have that too.
Oh, great.
So what's
you already have one, right? A book?
I do not have the book, no.
Okay, well, I'll give you the book. You guys can swap it back and forth. I'll get you another one.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Will you sign it to me?
Yes, I will.
Okay. What's on your bucket list as far as musically? What do you still
really
want to...
I have an oratorio called Cosm 23. It's sketched. It's all. It needs to be orchestrated and performed. It's for an orchestra of 150 and a 500 voice choir, and it's an oratorio to the earth.
Wow.
Although it might be a little too
timely.
late.
Oh, I was going to say no. That's timely. It should be.
And I'd like to get that performed and recorded, and I want to get my symphonies in shape. And also, I have a collection of song cycles that I've written, and various piano music and pipe organ music. The pipe organ CD is out. I didn't bring any with me. The piano CD I'm out of. But,
oh, I love the sound of the pipe organ.
Oh, you do? I'll have to get you one of those.
Yeah.
I was going to bring.
Okay. And upcoming gigs, what do you want to
we have a constant, we do
as
a German show. We're at the German Beer Halls. It's time to wrap it up, I guess.
Oh, that's all right. Just go on.
And every third Tuesday at Linneman's, I do all original music. We perform at various festivals and private parties.
Sure.
And,
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. What an honor to have you here.
it's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
We
This
could
has
go
been a very
on for
interesting
hours.
show. Yeah, I could
Definitely.
just go on and on and on. I'll tell you.
There's a lot
That's
to
really
talk
something
about.
else.
For sure.
It's been a
But
real
we
pleasure, and I'm
appreciate
so
it.
glad you could join us tonight.
Thank you.
And
Thank you
hopefully
once
we'll
again.
see you again. You know that we can, do
Yes.
something with you.
Let's get out and do one of his shows.
Yeah,
maybe,
that might be a great
location.
idea.
Yeah, come on out and enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for
See you.
joining us tonight. It's been a fantastic show. Until our next show, let your voice be heard. And good night.
Bye-bye.
chair with the remote control in your hand.
This program was made by a volunteer producer through MCM, a nonprofit organization.